What's up guys, my name is Dale, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create an awesome website like this with WordPress. You don't need any previous experience making websites because I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. And you can put your Instagram on here, we've got testimonials, a video section, you can put your blog posts on here as well as a contact section. And all of the buttons at the top jump to different parts of the website. So services jumps to services and gallery jumps to your Instagram. I will show you how to do all of this. This website is built with an awesome drag and drop interface, so it's extremely customizable and easy to create new designs even as a beginner. Or even if you want to learn how to become a web designer and get paid to make professional websites like this for clients, then this is for you. And at any point during this tutorial, you can use the left and right arrow keys on your keyboard to go forward or backward 5 seconds. Okay, so let's get started. So step number 1 is to get a domain name and web hosting. So a domain name is just the address that you type in to get to your website. So this could be something like yourwebsite.com. While web hosting is basically just renting space on the internet so that you can upload all of your pictures, your text, and all your other media. So if you want a professional website and you want to own 100% of that website, you need web hosting. The only other way around this is free website hosting, which has a lot of limitations, which are: you will not own your own domain name. It will be something like yourdomain.wix.com or .squarespace.com, or whoever is hosting this website for you. You also can't upload new themes. You're only stuck to their limited options. So that means less customization. You also can't upload plugins to help with the functionality of your website. You also can't monetize your website with ads. And lastly, you won't have 24/7 customer support, which can really come in handy. So that's why I don't really recommend getting a free website. And whoever's actually hosting it for you could remove it at any point, which means all your hard work is wasted. So in order to get good web hosting, just click on the very first link below this video. And this will take you to a special co-branded page that I have with HostGator. And HostGator is the company that I use to host all of my websites with. So you can choose from any one of these plans. Now, what I recommend is the Hatchling plan because it's the cheapest and it's the one that you want to do if you're just starting out. Now, if you know that you want to have a bunch of domain names and not just one, then I recommend going up to the baby plan. As you can see, there's unlimited domains. But if you're just going to do one domain name, you just want to try this out, then let's go with the Hatchling plan. So just click on Buy Now. And here is where you can register a new domain name. And if you've already got a domain name, you can just click on this tab right here. But if you don't, you can just type one in. So I'll just do something like createanepicwebsite.com. And then just hit enter. Cool, and it's available. So if it's not, it will come up in red. And then you'll just have to try and find another one. So I'm going to scroll down. And I highly recommend sticking with a .com. There's all these other suggestions in here, but a .com is definitely the most professional. Okay, so let's scroll down. Make sure that you have the domain privacy protection added to your new domain name. And the reason why you want this and why I highly recommend it is because otherwise your public information will be out there and then solicitors can call you and bother you 8 times a day saying that they can build your website for you and all this stuff. And it's super irritating. So I made that mistake on my very first website and I will never make that mistake ever again. All hosting companies will offer you this protection. Okay, so scrolling down, we are going to make sure that we are on the Hatchling plan, which we are, and then we've got our billing cycle. So here you can see it's set to 36 months, which is actually the cheapest. So that's $271 a month. And the shorter that you go as far as terms, the little bit higher the price is. So what I always recommend is, since you're getting your domain name for 12 months, I always recommend getting hosting for 12 months as well. And then it's only less than $5 a month. But if you are just starting out, you're not even sure that you want to stick to this, then go ahead and just do 1 month, and then you can always upgrade later to a longer billing cycle. And again, this billing cycle is for the web hosting. So now we're just going to make a username. So I'm just going to do my name and then a security pin. And then we'll just scroll down And here is where we are going to enter in our billing info. So you can do credit card or PayPal. So I'm just going to enter in this information real quick. Okay, so if you scroll down, then you can now add additional services, which you've got a free SSL certificate, which is included. And an SSL certificate is basically just this little lock symbol up here that lets everyone know that this website is safe and secure. So this is especially important if you're going to be running an e-commerce website or any sort of online store. And what I recommend is unchecking protect your site from hackers and back up your hard work. And I don't recommend get a professional email either, because I have videos on my channel that will teach you how to do these things for free. So you can save a little bit. So scrolling down here, just make sure that the coupon code says create a pro website. And this is what's going to get you your massive discount on hosting. And I'm legally obligated to tell you that this is my affiliate link, which means I do get a little bit of commission off of this. But it saves you a ton of money, and it's also a way for me to do these free tutorials. But if you don't want to use it for whatever reason, you don't have to. I'm still going to do this tutorial. So let's get back to it. Okay, so as you can see, the domain went from $18 down to only $5. And then the Hatchling 1 month of hosting went from $10.95 to $7.67. So all in all, only $27. So now you can just agree to the terms of service and then click checkout now. Cool, so HostGator is now setting up your account, so just give that a minute. Okay, so once that's done, you'll probably end up at a page something like this. But what I recommend doing is actually going to your email, whichever one that you use to sign up with HostGator, and looking for a no reply email that says your account info. So just click on that, and then here it's got all your login details. So there's a link here that says your control panel. So go ahead, and what you can do is copy your password first, and then just click on that your control panel link. And then it'll ask you to sign in. So I'm just going to use the username that I put in earlier, and then I'm going to paste that password. And then just click login. And now we're inside our HostGator control panel. So this brings us to step number 2, which is to install WordPress. So WordPress is a 100% free software that we're going to use to build our website visually, so you never have to touch any coding. So let me show you how to get it. So you can usually find WordPress in multiple places. So you can see build a new WordPress site here. You could click that, or the place that you can always find it is under Website Essentials over here on the left. And if you just go to Site Builder and CMS, you can then see WordPress right here. So we'll just go ahead and click on that. And then here you just want to select the domain name that you're going to be installing WordPress to. So I'm going to do createanepicwebsite.com, and then you can leave this as directory and then just click next. So now just give your website a name, which you can always change later, but I'm going to do create an epic website. Make sure I capitalize. And then I'll do admin user. I'll just put my name, and then first name, last name, and then admin email. And I would recommend using the same email that you use to sign up with HostGator. Cool, now just agree to the terms of service and then click install. Cool, WordPress is installing and it should only take a moment. And just like that, before I could even finish the sentence, it is done. So now what you want to do is make sure that you copy this information right here, because you're going to need this ridiculously long password in order to sign in to WordPress for the first time. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. So now in order to log into WordPress, you actually don't want to click the yellow login button, because that's actually going to go away after you sign in for the first time. So the way that you should get used to signing into WordPress is just by going up and opening up a new window, typing in your new domain name, and then do /wp-admin, and then click enter. That is always the way to get used to signing into your WordPress in order to edit your website. So now it takes us to this crazy page because HostGator needs to send out your new domain name across the entire world. And this process is called propagation. So all you need to do is just give it somewhere around 30 minutes to finish this process. And they say it could take anywhere up to 24 hours, but I have never had it take that long ever. It's usually around 20 to 30 minutes. So come back in a bit, type in your new domain name /wp-admin and try it again. Okay, so we're back and I'm going to check on my website. So I'm just going to type in my domain name and then /wp-admin. Cool, so whenever you're brought to a screen like this, you know that it's working. So now you can just sign in using your username, and then I'm just going to paste that ridiculous password from earlier, and then just click login. Cool, so here we are inside the WordPress dashboard, and it looks a little crazy, so we should clean it up. So just go ahead and just start hitting the X on everything that you see to just clean up this whole dashboard. There we go. That's a lot less daunting looking. So next, we should replace that ridiculous password with one that you can remember. So let's go ahead and go over to users over here on the left, and then just go over to all users. And then just click on your name, and then just scroll all the way to the bottom, and then you'll see new password, and then just click on generate password. And then you can delete the crazy one that it gives you, and then you can actually type in one that you're going to remember. Cool, and then whenever you're done, just click on update profile. Okay, so now we can move on to step number 3, which is to activate a new theme. And the theme that we're going to be using is called Ocean WP. And this is going to determine the overall style of our header up on our website. And it's also going to be compatible with the drag and drop page builder that we're going to use to actually build the website. So let's go get that theme. So just go on over to Appearance in the left-hand menu, and then just click on Themes. And then from here, you'll see that you've already got a few themes installed, and these are the base themes that come with WordPress. So if we just go up to our website and then go to Visit Site, which I'm going to open up in a new window, you can see that this is the current theme, and it's super boring. So we're going to get rid of that. So let's just go back, and you'll see a big plus button down here that says Add New Theme. Just go ahead and click that. And then you can browse themes based on featured, popular, latest, and so on. But what we're going to do is just go on over to Search Themes, and then type in Ocean WP. Cool, and then it's this first one right here. So just go ahead and click Install. And then click Activate. Cool, and now Ocean WP is activated. So if we go back up to our website name and open that up in a new window, so it looks a little bit different, but still pretty boring. So we're going to be installing a page builder plugin to actually customize the whole thing. Which brings us to step number 4, which is to activate plugins. And we're actually going to be activating 3 different plugins. So let's go get them. So I'm just going to exit out of this. And then on the left-hand menu, you'll see plugins down here. And then you can just go over to Add New. And the first one that we're going to be searching for is called Elementor. And this is our page builder. So if you type in Elementor in the search box, it should be the first one. You'll see Elementor Page Builder, and it's got 3 million active installations. So you know that it's super legit. So I'm going to go ahead and click Install Now. And then Activate. Cool. And then you'll be brought to this little welcome area, but you don't need to worry about that. The next plugin that we're going to be getting is called Essential Add-ons for Elementor, and it's going to give us a bunch of extra drag and drop tools for this page builder. So let's just go back on over to plugins down here, and then go over to Add New again. Cool, and then go over to the search box, and then just type in Essential Add-ons. And then it'll be the first one right here that says Essential Add-ons for Elementor. And again, 200,000 active installations. So install now, and then activate. This is a very, pun intended, essential plugin that we're going to be using for this tutorial. Cool, and just like that, it's done. And then the third and final plugin that we're going to be getting is one that allows us to put our Instagram on our homepage. So I'm just going to go back over to plugins, and then go to Add New again. And then just go over to the search box and type in Instagram feed. And then you'll see this first one here, Smash Balloon Social Photo Feed. So this actually used to be called Instagram Feed, which I have a tutorial on my channel about this as well, but they've recently changed their name. Don't know why. So I'm going to go ahead and install now, and then activate. Okay, so now that all of our housekeeping is done, we can move on to the fun part, which is step number 5, customize your website. So here is where I'm going to show you how to use Elementor's page builder to drag and drop elements on your website and design the whole thing. So let's go do that. Okay, so in order to build a home page, we actually need to create a new page to set as our home page. So what we're going to do is just go on over to Pages and then go over to Add New. Cool, so here is where you can create a new page. So I'm just going to exit out of this little tip, and then you can just add a title. So I'll just call this homepage. And then a very important step that we need to do before we publish is just go on over to Page Attributes and drop that down. And then under the default template, we're going to change that to Elementor Full Width, just like that. And then just go ahead and click on Publish. And then Publish again. Cool, so now that that's done, now we need to actually set this as our home page. So if you actually go on over to View Page over here, and you can see that the URL up here at the top has this index.php/homepage, and that's not correct. So we're going to go ahead and fix that. So just go ahead and click on the back button, and then go all the way down to Settings at the bottom, and then go over to Permalinks. So now we're just going to change it to post name. So right now we're set at custom structure. We're going to check the post name box. And then just go down to Save Changes. And then there's just one more step, which is to go up to our name again and then go to Visit Site. And then just click on Customize. And here is where we're going to tell OceanWP that we want to use that new page that we created called Homepage as our homepage. So we're going to go over to Homepage Settings and then click on a static page. And then we are just going to hit the select button and change that to homepage. There we go. So now I'm just going to click on publish. Cool. And now I'll just hit the X button. And as you can see up at the top, we've now just got our domain name. And we've got a full width homepage that we can now start building in. So just go on over to Edit Page. And then we're just going to click on this button that says Edit with Elementor. Awesome, so now we're inside the Elementor page builder. So as you can see, you've got a menu over here on the left, which has tons of widgets in it that you can drag and drop onto your website. But first, you just need to create a new section. So if you just click on the plus button over here, you can then select a structure. So how many columns do you want inside of it? I'm just going to go with 1 for now. And then if you go up to the Rubik's Cube looking symbol up here and click on that, that is how to get back to all these widgets. So if we want, we could drag in, say, a heading text, and then it's going to indicate with this blue line where it's actually going to be placed. So if I just drop that, so now that text is a widget which is inside of a column, which is this gray box here, and then that column is inside of a section, which is this big blue line around the outside. So if I want to actually edit this text, I could just click on this little pencil icon that says Edit Heading, and then you can do that over here on the left. So you can either type in here and change the text, or you can actually double click and do it right here on the screen. Change it again. So this is called inline text editing, which is why Elementor is so awesome. So I'm actually going to change this to make a beautiful website. And then if you go over to the style tab over here, that is where you can change all of the color and sizing and font options. So the text color, we can change that. Let's say to, actually we'll just leave it as dark for now because we're going to put an image in the background and then change it to white. But if we go back to typography, here is where you can change the font. So right now it's just set to default, but if you select that, you've got all sorts of Google fonts in here. So you can just browse through those as you want, but I'm just going to leave it as default. And then you can change the size by dragging the size slider. So I'll just do something like maybe around there, like a 50. And then you've got plenty of other properties here, such as line height, letter spacing, and so on. So I'm going to go back over to content, and then I'm going to click on the center alignment, like that. And then we're actually going to put an image in the background. So what you can do is just click on the 6 dots, which is for the actual section, which houses both the column and the widget inside of that column. So I'm going to click on those 6 dots, and then I'm going to go over to Style. And then under background, you'll see background type. You've got classic, gradient, and background video. I'm going to click on classic, and then underneath image, I'm going to click choose image. So now here is where you can actually upload media files. So if I just click on select files, and then I can just click on my follow along images, which are in the description if you would like to follow along with the exact same images that I'm using. So I'm just going to open that up. And then I'm just going to select our hero image right here, which is this one with the girl, and then click on open. And then you can see the image size over here. This one is 1500 by 853. That's a pretty good size for a hero image. So now I'm going to click on insert media. And then as you can see, it's really slim. So what we need to do is increase the height so we can actually see the whole image. So I'm going to go over to layout, and then underneath height, I'm going to change it from default to minimum height. And then you can actually change the height here by dragging this slider. So I'll just increase it to something like that, maybe a 600. And then I'm also going to show you how to get rid of this homepage title right here, because we don't need our homepage to say homepage, but I will do that in just a minute. So from here, I'm going to change this text to white. So I'm going to click on edit heading for this widget, go to style, and then change the text color to white, like that. And then if you want, you can actually even add some text shadow if you just click on that. And then if you just click on the little color box, you can make it darker or lighter. So I'll do, something like that. That's pretty good. And now I also want to add a background overlay because this text is kind of getting lost against the lighter parts of this image. So what I'm going to do is click on these 6 dots again. And then I'm going to go over to style. And then I'm going to go down to background overlay. And then I'm going to change this to classic. And then the color, I'm just going to set that as black. Now it's really dark, so what you can do is change the opacity right here. So right now we're at 0.5%. You can go darker or lighter. So I'll just do maybe something like a 40, like that. And now let's add some subheading text. So I'm going to go back to this little Rubik's Cube and then click on heading again and drag that underneath the make a beautiful website text, just like that. And then I'm going to change the text to elegant, clean, and 100% responsive. And then I'm going to go over to style, change the text color to white, and then I'm going to change the size. So if I go to typography and then size, you can change that. So I'll just do something like a 20. And then if you go back over to content, I'm going to center align this. And then we might as well add a shadow as well. So I'll just go back to style and then go to text shadow. And then I'm just going to make that shadow just a bit darker. There we go. Okay, so now let's add in a button. So if we just go back to the Rubik's Cube one more time, and then we go to the button widget, we can just drag that underneath, just like that. And then you can edit some of the properties here. So you can change the link, which is where the button will actually go whenever somebody clicks it. So you can just paste in a URL right here if you just delete that hashtag. And then you can change the button text right here with the text. So we'll say something like get started. And then the alignment, I'll put that in the center. And then you can also put an icon on the button. So if you just click on icon library, you've got tons of icons that you can choose from, which is pretty cool. So let's just say something like, I don't know, maybe an arrow, and then just click insert. So now you can see we've got an icon there, but I'm not actually going to keep that there. So I'm just going to hit the little trash can symbol. And by the way, you can undo anything at all just by simply clicking on Control Z or Command Z if you're on a Mac. Okay, and now we'll change the button style. So if we just go up to the style tab, so you can change the text with typography, you can give it a shadow, and then underneath normal, we've got some settings here. So we've got the text color, which you can change, and then the background color. So if we just click on background color, you can then select any color in here that you want. I'll just do something like a kind of bright green, like that. And then I'm going to copy this code. And then if we just go on over to hover, and then go to background color again, I'm going to click on that and then paste in that same code. And then I'm also going to drag this down to make it a bit darker so that whenever I hover over it, it turns darker, just like that. Cool. And then you've got the animation. So if you just go to hover animation and click on this, you can put in, let's say, grow, and then whenever you hover over it, it grows, which is pretty cool. And there's tons of them in here. If you search through, you can try them all out. And then you can add a border to it if you want by selecting solid under border type. And then you can just increase the width here like that, as well as how circular you want the button to be. So border radius, if you put that all the way up, the button gets really circular. So I'll just do something like an 80, and I'm actually going to take away that border. So I'm also going to change this back to none. And then I'm also going to add a shadow because I like shadows on everything. So this is actually kind of fine the way it is. The only thing I'm going to change is the vertical position. I'm going to change to, let's say, like a -3. So the shadow is just over the top there. And then maybe bring the spread down just a bit. Like that. Cool. So now if you just click on this little tab here, you can hide that whole menu. And so now we've got our whole hero image, and you've got a basic understanding of how to use Elementor. But we still need to take care of this page title. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's open up this menu again, and then just click on Update. This will save our work. And then just go on up to this hamburger looking symbol right here, and then click on Exit to Dashboard. And then just go back up to your website name and click on Visit Site. And then just click Customize. So now if you go down to General Options over here and click on that, and then go to Page Title, we can then disable this. So if we just go on over to Style, and then we go to Hidden, that will then get rid of it. And then you've also got this kind of top bar up here that says place your content here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that too. So let's just hit the back button, and then back button one more time, and then down to top bar, and then we're going to go to General, and then we're going to uncheck Enable Top Bar. Cool. So this is looking a lot more clean. So now I'm just going to click on Publish. And now just click on the X button, and then go back to Edit with Elementor. Okay, so to save you tons of time, I created a template of the website that I showed you in the beginning, which we can now upload, and then you can just replace everything very quickly. So let's go do that now. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of our hard work here and just click on the X for this whole section. And then we're just gonna click on this little gray symbol that says Add Template. So if you haven't grabbed the templates from the description, then go ahead and do that too. So once you grab those, we're going to just go over to this little symbol right here, which is called Import Template, and click on that. And then we're just going to click on Select File. And then we're going to go to where our website templates are held. So mine's just in a folder called Website Templates. And then we've got our footer and our home page. So for now, just grab the home page and then click on Open. Cool, so now that's imported, and then we're going to go back to the Import button and grab that footer. So let's go to Select File, and then grab the footer, and then Open. And CPW stands for Create a Pro Website, in case you were wondering. Cool, so now we've got both in here. So underneath Home Page, we're gonna go over to Insert and click on that green button. And then it's gonna ask if you wanna import the document settings, so we're just gonna say yes. Okay, so now it's imported, but it seems to have broken our website a bit. We've got all this info on the side again, but that's okay, it's easy to fix. So if you just go over to Page Layout, and then click on Default, and change that to Elementor Full Width, that will then fix the problem. Cool, so now we're back in business. So if I close this, you can see, so we're missing the images, but the overall website layout is all here with the animations and everything. Cool, so let's go ahead and get this whole thing filled out. So let's just open up this menu on the left again, and then I'm going to click on these 6 dots for the main section, and then we're going to change that image. So if we just go to Style, we can then go to the image and click on Choose Image. And then I'm going to go to this hero image again right here, and then click on Insert Media. There we go. And as you can see, whenever I scroll, there's this parallax effect going on. So this is happening because of the attachment over here. It's set to fixed. So if I change that to scroll, it then all moves as one. But I really like the parallax effect, so I'm going to go back to fixed. And then you can also change the position of the image and then also the size. So the size I have set to cover, which I recommend sticking to cover and not doing any other option, because the image will then cover this entire section no matter how much you resize it. And then I'll also show you how to edit padding. So if we just click on the little pencil icon for, say, the button, and then we go over to the Advanced tab, we've got 35 padding all the way around this button. So padding, if you just decrease it, will decrease the space, or increase it, it will increase the space. And this can be done around any item on your page. So I'm just going to go back to a 35. So scrolling down, you can see we've got this kind of triangular effect going on. I'll show you how to edit that. So if we just go to the main section and click on the 6 dots, and then we go into the Style tab, and I'm just going to close the background and then go to Shape Divider. And then I'm going to go to bottom because this is the bottom of this whole section. So now you can see we've got triangle set, and then you can change the color here just by clicking and dragging around. But I have it set to the exact same color that I made this section, so kind of like a light gray. So I'm going to Control Z. And then you can also change the shape. So instead of a triangle, you could do, let's say, like a curve. You could do mountains like that. There's lots of different options. There's waves, but I really like the triangle. It's really simple and clean. And then of course you can change the width and the height, which is basically just how heavy or how light that triangle really is. Okay, scrolling down, let's change our About Me photo. So I'm going to click on the little pencil icon for this image box. So this is actually a whole different widget that allows you to edit the title and the description in here, as well as change the image. So I'm going to click Choose Image, and then go to Upload Files, and then select Files. And then I'm going to just go back to where my follow along images are, and I'm actually going to drag in everything. So I'm going to grab this one of me, which is not included in the follow along images that I gave you, because this should be an image of yourself on your website. But I'm going to grab that image and all these others, because we're going to need them all at some point, so we might as well import them now. So just go ahead and click on Open, and then give that a second. Cool, so now you can see all of our images have been imported. So I'm just going to grab the one of me, and then go to Insert Media, and there we go. Now it's got my face on it. And then you can also put a link on the image, so if somebody clicks on it, it will take them somewhere. And then also the image position. You can do kind of stacked on top of each other, or right aligned, or left aligned. So as you can see, our text is blue, and it's supposed to be kind of the same as all of these. So I'm going to change that. So if we just go to Style, and then we go to the content down here, and open that up, you can see we've got the title, you've got the color, and the typography. So I'm just going to change the color to kind of a darker gray, like all the others. Something like that. And then if you go to typography, here you can change the style. So I'll make it the same size as the others, which is something around a 20, I believe. And if you're not sure, you can always just go click on one of the others and open it up, and then go to Style and open up the typography for that. Okay, so that's set to a 23. So I'm going to put this one as the same size. So I'm going to click on the icon for this image box again, go back to content, and then go to typography and put that to a 23. I really recommend having everything match on your website as far as size, color, and everything. And then I'm going to click on update and make sure that I'm saving my work, because otherwise losing your work really sucks. So scrolling down, you can see we've got this kind of box effect going on here on top of this light gray background. So if you wanted to change that background, you could just go to this section and then go over to style, and then you can change the color here. And then you're going to want to make sure you change this color for the triangle, this background, as well as this one. And this one will affect everything below. But I kind of like the light gray background, so I'm going to leave it. But what I do want to show you how to change are these icons. So as you can see, when we hover over them, they kind of grow a little bit. And these are actually clickable. So if you want to edit these, you can just click on the edit icon box. And then you can see we've got the icon here, and you can just go to the icon library and change that. So if I just click on that, I can just type in anything I want. So I did YouTube to get to it. There's a couple different ones, but there's icons for almost anything. So, and then you would just click on insert, but I already like the YouTube icon, so I'm going to leave it. And then you can change the title and description of that as well as put in a link so that when somebody clicks on it, it will take them there. And if you'd like to change the hover color or the color of these themselves, you can just go up to style and then change the primary color, which is underneath the normal tab. Or if you just go to hover, you can then change the color of the hover. So I could just do kind of like a dark red, like that. And then obviously some other properties as well, like size and animation and so on. Okay, scrolling down, we can then put in our Instagram. So what I'm going to do is first replace the image, and then I'll show you how to actually put your Instagram on here. So first, I'll replace the image. So if I just click on the little 6 dots for this section, and then go to style, we're going to change this image. So I'm just going to click on choose image. And I'll go to something like this. So this is the Instagram and contact sections. I've actually labeled all these images for you if you're following along. So I'm going to click on insert media, and just like that, good to go. And it's also got that parallax effect. So now I'm going to put in the Instagram. So if we just click on this little icon here, you can see that we've got this little short code here that says Instagram feed. So what we need to do is just go back to our dashboard and hook up our Instagram with that plugin that we installed in the beginning, that Smash Balloon plugin. So what I'm going to do is just click on update, and then I'm going to go to this hamburger looking symbol and click on that, and then go to exit to dashboard. Cool. So now if you just scroll down in this left hand menu, you'll see Instagram feed right here. Just go ahead and click on that. And then here is where you can actually connect your Instagram feed. So if you just click on this button here that says connect an Instagram account, if you're already logged in, it will automatically do it for you with just one click, just like that. So if you weren't logged in, you can just go type in instagram.com up here and actually log in. Or what you could also do is just click on this button not working, and that will allow you to get a little access token to actually hook up your Instagram. So this is kind of your fail-safe if it doesn't automatically connect. So I'll just show you a quick preview. If you just click on that button, you can then click here to get your Instagram access token. And then it'll say, is this for personal or business? We're just on personal, and then just click connect. And then you can see here, you've got a token. So now you can just copy and paste this like that. And then we're just going to exit out of this. And then you can just go to manually connect an account and then enter in that token, just like that. And then select connect this account. But mine was already hooked up, so it just hooked it up again. So now while we're here, we're also going to go to customize. And then if you just scroll all the way down, you'll see number of columns and then also the number of photos. So make sure that number of columns says 4, and then we're going to change number of photos to 8 because 20 is kind of a lot. Okay, so now we're going to go to save changes. Oh, and there's one more thing that we got to remember. So let's just go back down again all the way to header text color. So I'm going to just select that, and I'm going to change it to kind of like a light gray, almost like a white. And then I'm going to hit save changes. Okay, so now we can just go back to our website and go to visit site. and then I'm going to scroll all the way down. And as you can see, here is my Instagram, which is all hooked up. And that header is that kind of light gray white color, so we can actually read it now, which is really cool. And then you can just click on load more, and that will load some more Instagram images. And if you want to follow me, go ahead and click on that follow on Instagram button. Or if this is yours, anyone else can follow you. Okay, so now I'm just going to go back to edit with Elementor. And we're going to scroll down and just keep going. So now, testimonials. This one's an easy one. So if you just select the testimonial widget here, these are all the same widget. So let's just select that. And then I'm going to go to over here and change the image. So just choose image and then go to Benjamin. So this is testimonial 1. And then we've got testimonial 2 and then 3. So I'm going to select number 1 and click Insert Media. And just like that, super easy, ready to go. If you want, you can actually change this to a square. So if you just go over to Style and then go to Testimonial Image Style, you can then change it. So it says Rounded Avatar. If you just uncheck that, it will change it to a square. But I kind of like the rounded image. And you can mess with the settings like the width. So this will actually change the size of the image. And then if you just go back to content and then go to testimonial content, you can change the actual name here. You can put a company name in here and then what they say. So I recommend leaving these in quotations because it's kind of like saying this person says that. But that's just a little testimonial quick tip. Okay, so let's replace these other ones. So I'm going to select this little pencil icon, go to choose image. I'm going to select the girl and then insert media. And then this one as well. I'll go to choose image, select this guy, and then insert media. Cool, so now they're all replaced. And as you can see, there's kind of these animations where they're kind of sliding in from the bottom. I'll show you how to do that. So if we're actually already selected on this guy already. If we just go over to the Advanced tab and then go to Motion Effects, this is where you'll find that. So I have it set as a fade in up and it's set to slow. So you could do, let's say, just a regular fade in like that. There's tons of them in here. There's a zoom in, but I like the fade in up. And then you can change the speed here as well. And I've got these on the Instagram widget. I've got it on these services, the About Me. You can change them all just by clicking on the widget and then going to Advanced and then Motion Effects. Okay, so keep going down. Let's change the background for this video section. So I'm going to click on the little 6 dots for this whole section and then go to Style and then choose Image. And I'm just going to grab this grassy one and then Insert Media. There we go, just like that, it's done. You can change the text just by simply double clicking and typing on the screen. And then the button, you can also change that as well if you just click on the edit button. And you can change the link, which right now is going to Create a Pro Website's YouTube channel. And you can change the color of the button and everything in the Style tab. But I've already gotten into that, so I'm not going to go through it again. So now the blog, as you can see, we've only got one blog post here. But as you create more blog posts, they'll all show up here automatically. So if you don't even want the blog section, you can actually just click on the X and just get rid of the whole thing. But I will show you how to create a new blog post as well as new pages towards the end of this tutorial. Okay, scrolling down. So let's replace the image for the contact section. So I'm going to click on the 6 dots, go to Style, and then go to Choose Image. And I'm going to grab the same one as the Instagram and just click Insert Media. There we go. And as you can see, we are missing our contact form. Well, I will show you how to fix that in just a sec. So first, you can change all of the text here, and then you can also change the icons and the information here. So this is an icon list, which is actually a totally different widget. So as you can see, you've got each item here. So if you just click on one like that, you can change the icon, what it says, and then if you go to Style, you can actually change the icon colors and everything. Okay, so step number 6 is to create a new contact form. So let's go ahead and do that. So first, I'm just going to go over to Update and save my work. Make sure that we don't lose anything. And then I'm going to go up to this hamburger looking symbol right here, and then go to exit to dashboard. And then from here, you'll see a plugin on the left that's called WP Forms. So let's just go over to that and then click on Add New. Cool, so here we're just gonna create a new contact form. So you can start from a blank form or just a simple one. I recommend just starting with the simple one because the work is already pretty much done for you. And as you can see, we've got our name, so we've got first and last here, we've got their email, as well as message. And if you want, you can add other sections to this. So if you wanted to add, let's say, a phone number section, you can just click on numbers, and then that will add that in down here. And then you can just reorder it by clicking this little button here and then dragging up. Or you can trash it if you don't want it. And now if you just go on over to settings, we're in the general settings. So as you can see, we've got the form name. So I'll just change that to, let's say, Dale's contact form, but you can put whatever your name is. And then you can change the submit button text. So if you want, you could change it to send or something like that. And then it will change it to sending. And then if we go over to notifications, this is where the emails will actually be sent to. So right now it's set to admin email with this little bracket code here. So this is the email that you use to actually sign up for WordPress. So it's automatically going to send it to that email if you leave this little short code in here. But if you want to send it to a different one, or maybe you want to add more to it, you can just type in an email address here. So I could change this to createaprowebsite@gmail.com. And then lastly, we'll go over to confirmation. You can then change what the actual confirmation message says whenever they actually send a message. So right now it's set to thanks for contacting us. We'll be in touch with you shortly. And it's set to message up here. So if you want, you could just show a completely different page on your website, or you could go to a completely new URL. But I recommend just sticking with a simple message. Cool, so now we're gonna go up to save, and then we'll just click on the X. Cool, so now you can see Dale's contact form has been added here. It should say whatever your name is. And then I'm gonna go back to my website and go to visit site. Cool, and now just click on edit with Elementor again. And then we'll scroll all the way to the bottom and you will see this widget here. So you've got the pencil icon around this WP Forms widget. So just click on that and then go to select a form. And I'm gonna grab Dale's contact form. And there we go, there's our contact form. And if you want, you can also change the color of the send button. So if you just go to style and then go all the way down to submit button, you can then change the background color here like this. So I'll just do, I don't know, maybe something like a green, like that. And then as well as the hover color. So I'm gonna actually grab this green and then go to hover. And then I'm gonna click on background color and paste that in. And then I'm just gonna make that a bit darker. That way when you hover over it, it turns a little bit darker. And you can actually make it less square. So just like the button at the top, if you just go back to normal and then go to border type. So let's just change that to solid. And then I'm gonna go to border radius right here and increase that value so that it is more, let's just say a 60. So it's more circular like that. Okay, and before we move on, I also wanna show you how to add and edit a footer. So I've actually already created a template footer for you. So what I'm gonna do is just click on update to save my work. And then I'm just gonna click on the hamburger symbol and then go to exit to dashboard. So in order to actually add that footer that I created for you, we're just gonna need a simple plugin that's kind of an add-on to our Ocean WP theme. So if we just go to plugins and then go to add new, and then we just go search over here and type in Ocean Extra, it should pop up here. And there it is, Ocean Extra. So now just click on install now. And then activate. Cool, so now over here on the left, you should see a little gear icon that says theme panel. Just click on that. And then just click on skip. Cool. So now over here on the left, you'll see My Library. Just click on that. And then we're going to go to Add New up here at the top. And then if you just scroll down, we're just going to call this one Footer. And then you'll see Post Attributes over here on the right. Just click on Default Template and change it to Elementor Full Width. And then just click on Publish. And then we're just going to go to Edit with Elementor. Cool. So from here, we're just going to click on the Add a Template button. And then go to My Templates. And then you'll see we've got our footer that we uploaded earlier. So I'm just going to click on Insert. Cool. And here's our footer. So this works just like anything else with Elementor. You can change the background color inside this big section. You can change all of these links, all this text, pretty much everything the same as what I showed you earlier. So now that that's done, I'm just going to click on Update. And then I'm just going to go up to the little hamburger looking symbol and then go to Exit to Dashboard. Cool. So now let's actually set this as our footer. So I'm going to go up to my website and then go to Visit Site. And then just click on Customize. And then if you just scroll all the way to the bottom here, you'll see Footer Widgets. So just open that up. And then if you just go over to Select a Template over here, we're just going to change that to Footer. Cool. So now if I scroll all the way down, you should then see our footer. And it looks a little funky, so let's fix that. So I'm just going to go over to Add Container, and I'm going to uncheck that, like that. And then I'm also going to take off the padding for the top and the bottom. So we've got 30 on the top and 30 on the bottom. I'm going to put zeros in those boxes. There we go. It looks a lot better. And then lastly, we just need to take off this extra copyright here at the bottom. So I'm just going to go up and go to the back button. And then I'm going to go to Footer Bottom. And then I'm just going to uncheck Enable Footer Bottom. There we go. Now our footer is looking awesome. So now let's just go ahead and click on Publish. Okay, so step number 8 is to customize your header. So for the header, that's that whole section at the top of the page that we're going to be adding a logo to, we're going to be adding a menu to it, and a few other cool things. So let's go do that. So let's just scroll all the way to the top, and we're actually going to be adding the menu right here. So what I'm going to do is just click on the back button, and then I'm just going to go to Menus, and then we're going to just create a new menu. And we'll just call this, let's say, Primary Menu. And then we're going to say the menu location is just going to be Main, which is just going to be this section up here at the top right. So now I'm just going to click on the Next button. Cool. So now let's just add some items to it. So I'm just going to click on Add Items. And right now we're in the Pages section. So if you just click on this, you can see that we're in the Pages section, but we don't actually have any other pages created to add to this menu. But what we want to do is add custom links. So these are going to be custom jump buttons that will jump to different spots on this one-page website. So let me show you what I mean. So right now I'm going to type in About into the link text, and then under the URL I'm going to do #about. And this hashtag with this name after it is going to jump to a certain class ID, which I have preset for you on that downloadable template. So I'll show you a little bit more about that later. So all we're going to do is just click on Add to Menu, and then I'll do Services, and then I'll do #services, and then this button will then jump to the Services section. I'll also do Gallery, because maybe you don't want to put an Instagram there, maybe you want to put pictures. We'll do #gallery, and then Add to Menu, and then I'll also do Blog, and then I'll do #blog, Add to Menu, and then we'll also do Contact, and then we'll do #contact, and then Add to Menu. And now if you go over here on the left menu over here, you can rearrange these any way that you want. So from top to bottom, they will be displayed from left to right. So if you want, you can actually reorder these, Or if you want to create a drop-down menu, you can just drag one underneath another like that to the right and kind of create the stair stepper effect, which will then create a drop-down. So I will hide this and show you what I mean. So now there's an arrow and you can see we've got a drop-down underneath. But I don't want to do it like that, so I'm going to change it back to the way that it was, just like that. Cool. So now you can see we've got all of our menu items right here, and if we click on them, they jump to different sections on our website, which is really cool. These are called jump buttons. So gallery goes to the Instagram. So I've actually put in a class ID here called gallery. So as long as you do hashtag gallery, you can name it anything that you want. Okay, so let's go ahead and click publish to save our work. And now what I'm going to do is make this header transparent. So you can leave it white if you want to, but I really like the transparent look. So I'm going to just hit the back button and then back button one more time. And we're just going to go down to header. And then we're going to go to general. And the style is set to minimal. We're going to change that to transparent. Cool. And now we're also going to uncheck header border bottom to get rid of that little white line. And as you can see, we can't really see our items here. So let's go ahead and change those buttons. So let's go to the back button, and then we're just going to go to menu. And then if you just scroll down in this menu, you can see we've got link color and then link color hover. So I'm going to change link color to say a white like that. And then you can change the hover color here, but I think I might just stick with the blue. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create a logo to replace this text right here. So I'm going to show you how to do this with a free online software, and you can do it in about a minute or two. So let's just go up and open up a new window and type in logo maker without the e.com. And then it's going to ask you if you want to take a little tour. We're just going to hit the X because I'm going to show you how to use it. So if you want to add an icon in here to create a logo, all you have to do is just go up to this little search bar up here, and you can search anything that you want. Or if you click on this little Rubik's Cube looking symbol, you can browse by all these different categories, which they've just got tons in here. It's pretty much limitless. But what I'm going to do is just type in something like, let's say mouse pointer. Something like this, and you can just browse all the ones that they have, which is really cool. So I will go with, let's say something like this. And then I'm also going to go up here and search for circle. And I'll just grab, let's say this one. And if you want, you can actually resize it. So if you go to any corner, the arrow will change, and then you can just drag it up and resize it like that. And then I'm just going to drag this guy up to resize it, kind of like that. And now that's a logo right there. Super easy and quick. So if you want, you can change the color of this logo. So if you just select it, you can just kind of drag around in this outside circle, and then you can change the saturation in this inside box. But I think black and white are good ways to go with a logo. So now I actually want to save this out for my favicon. So the favicon is this little symbol up here. So you can see there's a gator for this one right now. We want to replace that for our website. But you can see Logo Maker even has their own favicon here. So all we got to do is just go up to the little save button at the top right. And then it's going to ask if you want to buy it, which is the high resolution file. But you can just download the low resolution file, which is plenty high enough quality for what we're doing. And they'll just ask you to credit them. So just, say something like, I got this from Logo Maker. So I'm going to click on no thanks, download low resolution file. And as you can see, it just hit my downloads. Cool. So now I'm going to hit the X, and let's make an actual logo. So I'm just going to select both of these and drag it down like that. Drag it off to the left. And if you want, you can add in text by clicking on the text button. And I'll just type epic website. Actually, let's capitalize that, epic website, like that. And then you can change the font. So you can change the actual font category. So right now we're in simple and modern. You can do like fun and funky. And those are all sorts of kind of crazy ones in here. but I'm going to stick with the simple and modern. And I'm going to select, actually, I'm just going to stick with able. And then I'm just going to go over to the color, and I'm going to change this to a black. And then I'm just going to drag this up to resize it, something like that. And then I'm just going to drag this guy, get both of these, and just resize that a little too, to make sure it's all just kind of next to each other. And then I'm actually going to turn this white because I want that white logo to be in this section. I think white will show up a lot better than black. So what I'm going to do is just select this, turn it white, and then select these two and turn them white. And don't worry, I know you can't see them, but they're actually going to be rendered out with a transparent background. So I'm just going to go up to Save Logo, and then I'm going to download the low resolution file. Cool, so now I've got both of those in my downloads. So I'm just going to go back to my website, and I've actually already got these in the follow along images folder, so I'm just going to cancel out of my downloads so I have a little bit more room here. And I'm going to hit the back button, and then I'm going to go to logo, and then I'm going to select a logo. So I actually uploaded a black version earlier, and now I've got a white version. So I'll just go to upload, select files, and then I'll grab the logo long, and then I'll just click on select. And then it's going to ask you if you want to crop. I'm just going to click on skip cropping. Cool, and there's our logo. It's a little big, so what you can do is just go over to max width, and we will just make that a bit smaller. So maybe something like 150, like that. I kind of like a real small logo. It's kind of subtle. And now let's put in our favicon. So like I said, you've got the Gator here, which is just an automatic one from HostGator. So let's go ahead and change that. So I'm just going to click on the back button, and then back one more time, and then go down to site identity. And then underneath site icon, let's just select a new site icon. And I've got the black one from earlier. So I'm just going to click select, and then I'm just going to click on skip cropping. And then over here you can see what it's actually going to look like. And I think we just need to publish the page or get out of this customize menu to actually see it. But before we do that, you can see we've got tagline here. So this is something that Google is going to read. Your site title and your tagline, this is just a quick tip. Google will actually read these things. So if you want to rank on Google for something, so for me, if it's creating websites, I would want my tagline to say something like how to create a website from home. And create a website is actually a keyword that's searched a lot. And so now Google will actually read this in my tagline, and it might help me rank a little bit higher. But that's just a quick tip. So now I'm just going to click on publish, and then I'm just going to click the X. And there's our site icon as promised. Okay, so for step number 9, I'll show you how to create new pages and posts. So maybe you want to do something outside of this one page design. Maybe you want a separate contact page or a separate about me page. Or maybe you want to get started with writing blog posts. Well, I will show you how to do all of that right now. Okay, so we're just going to go back to our dashboard. So if you just go up to your website name and click on dashboard. And then as you can see here, we've got posts and then we've got pages. So let's just start with posts. So I'm just going to click on that and then go to add new. And here you can give it a title and start typing. So I'll just do an example for now. So let's say that you want to write a blog post on the top 10 website design mistakes and their solutions, which I actually do have a video on this on my channel if you want to check that out. So now you could just hit enter and you could actually start typing. So you could say mistake number 1 and then write whatever the mistake is and its solution. And then you can also add, let's say like an image. So if you just go up to add a block, you can select an image, or there's lots of others here. There's galleries, there's audio, files, all sorts of stuff in here. You can just go into all these little drop-down menus, but let's just say I want to grab an image, and then you can select one from your media library or upload one. So I'll just grab one from the media library. Let's say this one, and then select. And then this is how you would write blog posts. So if you want to get into blogging, this is a big deal. And then pages work the same way. So if we just go over to pages and then add new. It's going to ask us if we want to save our work. I'm not actually writing a real blog post, so I'm just going to hit leave. And now pages work the exact same way, except with pages, you would want it to be something like contact me, or about me, or whatever it is, and then you would write about yourself, or you would write your contact info in under here. And then this would be a whole separate page that is apart from your home page. Okay, so step number 10 is to edit for mobile and tablet. Making sure that your website looks amazing on all devices is a must, especially in today's world, because today, over 52% of global online traffic is done on a mobile device. So this means people are browsing the web a little bit more on their phones than they are on their laptops. So making sure that your website looks great on mobile is a must. And it's really easy to do, so let's go do that. Okay, so I'm just going to go up to my website name and then go to Visit Site. And then I'm just going to go over to Edit with Elementor. So all you have to do is just go down to this little computer symbol that says Responsive Mode, and you can choose either desktop, tablet, or mobile. So for now, I'm just going to start with mobile. And it's going to give you this little simulation phone where you can see what it looks like on a phone, which is really cool. And I've actually already made this whole website responsive already, so you don't even have to really worry about it. But I do want to show you how to edit this on mobile anyway, just in case. Because I actually noticed that I left a little mistake here. So there's a little bit of space here, and I want to have it a little bit more because I think that this blog post is too close to the contact section. So I'm going to edit that, and then I'll show you how it works on mobile and then doesn't change it on desktop. So I'm just going to click on the little widget for the post, and then I'm going to go over to Advanced. And then as long as this little blue symbol for the phone is checked, whatever values that I edit here are not going to be affected on the desktop or the tablet. So let me show you what I mean. So if I just go over to desktop, you can see that it looks fine. I mean, there's not as much space as I'd probably like, but it's really not that bad. So if we just go back to the phone and then I add some value to it, so let's just unlink this, and I'm going to add some value to the bottom. So let's just say like 45. Then I'll also add some to the right and left. So let's say 20 on the right and 20 on the left. Now we've adjusted what it looks like. So now if I go back to desktop, it's still the way that it was. So as long as you edit just on one of these devices, it won't change the look of it on any of the other devices. Cool, so I'm just gonna go ahead and click on Update. Okay, so our last and final step, which is step number 11, is to publish your website. So now we wanna make sure that the whole world can see this new website that you've created. So let's just go up to the little hamburger symbol and then go to Exit to Dashboard. And then we're just going to go up and click on Dashboard. And then you should have a little notification here that says your site is currently displaying a coming soon page. Once you're ready to launch your site, click here. So all you got to do is just click here. Cool. And now you have a little congratulations here that says your site is now live. Click here to view it. And now we've got a beautiful website that is functioning properly. Everything is responsive, all the buttons and everything is working great. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please hit that like button on the video. And if you want more awesome website design tips and tricks and tutorials, anything to make awesome websites from home, then please consider subscribing to my channel. You will not be sorry. I've got tutorials on how to create an online store, how people make tons of money with their websites, pretty much anything that you can think of. Alright guys, I will see you on the next video.